A customer sent us their oven controller board for repair, and this one had a couple different issues. The first one was the display was very dim. We've already replaced it, so now we have a very nice bright display. And the second issue is when I try to activate the baking elements, I get an F3 error code. Now, an F3 error code usually means that there is an issue with the temperature sensor or the wiring. However, if you've already checked the wiring, if you've already checked the temperature sensor, and both of those are in working order, that means that the issue is coming from the controller board. So we're going to take a closer look at it and show you exactly how we diagnose and fix it. Taking a closer look at the back of the controller board, we'll notice over here we have some pins. The two pins I want to pay specific attention to are this one and this one. The reason is because the temperature sensor hooks into these two pins. So let's take apart the controller board and follow those on the back side. Okay, let's flip it over. The two pins are on the right side over here and over here. So what we'll do is we're going to follow that trace and we're going to see where they go. So it goes over this jumper, to here, over here, to this jumper, which then goes over to here, then follows this path. Now there's one jumper that goes over here, and then there's another one that goes over here, 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 and into this IC chip. So it's possible that this IC chip is defective. But let's double check all those jumpers that we just went through first and see if any of those are components and if those could be defective. So let's follow that path again. We went over here. Okay, the first one was over here. Let's see if that's just a piece of metal or if that's a component. So, and it looks like, yeah, it's just this piece of metal right there. So that's not a component. We have one component that goes across like this. Let's check that one out. Nope, that's also that 5-volt jumper right here. And then we have one more that goes from here to here. Let's see what that is. Okay, that is a resistor here. According to the calculator, this resistor is supposed to be a 4.7 kilo ohms, and we're getting 4.64 kilo ohms, so that's close enough. To me, that's good. Let's move on to the next thing. And actually, it looks like that is the last component, except for this one here, which is a capacitor. So to check those capacitors, I don't actually do a resistance check. Well, I do, but I'm not going to be worried about the resistance check number. I just want to make sure it's not shorted, showing 100 ohms or less. So this one's 8 kilo ohms, so to me that tells me that capacitor is not shorted. So that was the last component before we get to that IC chip. So we didn't find any problems, which could indicate that that IC chip is defective. Let's check the other path for the other leg of the temperature sensor. So we go down here, we go down here, we go over this metal jumper. Let's zoom in a little more. Then we go over here to this jumper, which leads us to this jumper over here, and then this jumper to that same IC again. Okay, which makes sense. So that's kind of what we expected. All right, so let's do this one more time. So this is our metal jumper. Yep, we know that that's going to be fine. Then we go over here. All right, let's see. What is this component here? It is the second one. Okay, so it's going to be this one right here, and I think I see a little browning here. Let's go ahead and do a measurement. So this one is a purple, green, black, gold, or violet, I guess, not purple. And that's supposed to be about 75 ohms. And we're getting about 79, so it's 4 ohms off, which again, that's going to be close enough. We're not going to worry about that. All right, let's move on to the next component. Then let's see, we have one more component here. Let's see what that is. And it looks like that's going to be just a jumper here, just a metal jumper, so we're not going to worry about that. Then brings us to here. So we have a component here. Let's see, what is that? So it looks like that's going to be R40 right over here, and I can see a little dark spot right here. So I think that's going to be a burnt component. So this one is yellow, violet, black, gold, and that's supposed to be 47 ohms. So let's do that measurement. And we're getting 54, but that is kilo ohms, not ohms. So that is a blown resistor. I think that's going to be our fault. We're going to replace this 47 ohm resistor because it's currently measuring 54K, and then we'll see what that does for us. So for this one, we're just going to use our desolder wick. And let's see. It looks like I don't have any movement from my pins, so that it's still soldered down. Let's go ahead and desolder a little more. There we go. All right, and now I got movement from my pins. So now I should be able to remove the resistor. And we can put in place our replacement. I'm just holding the resistor with a finger on the back side while I solder on the front. Okay, we're going to give it a quick little cleanup. Okay, and we're going to install our fake temperature sensor, which we were using prior. Now let's go ahead and plug it in and see what we get. All right, let's check out our bake. And we don't get our F3 error code anymore. All right, let's try to set it to 350. Looks like we have a proper repair here. And we just got the clicks from the relay. Now, something I didn't mention is prior to me doing this repair, my technician did perform some preventative repairs. So like I said, we had replaced the screen. We also replaced some of the capacitors here. And in fact, he had also replaced both this IC and this IC chip before we did this resistor here on screen. It is possible that this IC chip over here was defective and or caused this resistor to go out. So it is possible that the resistor and the IC chip both have to be replaced simultaneously, which is what we did. We just didn't do the IC chip on screen. So I just wanted to point that out in case you're still having issues after replacing this resistor. It is possible and also likely that this chip also may need to be replaced. If you're interested in sending in your oven controller board for us to fix, we'll have links to our contact information in the video description down below. Otherwise, if you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.